So, is Guest 1337 actually the worst Sentinel? Or bad? No, not at all. No Sentinels are bad. I just think there's a worst and a best Sentinel. And spoiler, Guest is not the worst Sentinel in my opinion. Although he can be confusing since it's hard, though you can say he's really skill dependent depending on the killer. I'll talk about more about depends on the player, like depends on what player the killer is. I'll go more into that. But for anybody that watched my Forsaken Sentinel ranking video, my opinions have changed. Not a lot, but just a bit. Now I think Chance is the worst Sentinel, but I'll go into that in a later video. But no, Guest is sure sometimes you can feel underpowered, but he can just feel like the best Sentinel at other time. He can feel like the worst Sentinel or the best Sentinel. So I'm gonna show you some gameplay and go more deep into this. Guest is hard. Yeah, it's pretty obvious. I don't know why he's a 4-star difficulty survival, but honestly he's a 5-star difficulty. People say he's really dependent on how this killer plays. If it's a good killer, he's bad. He's bad. Let me explain why it doesn't make sense specifically for Guest to have that problem. If it's a good killer, you're gonna. For example, if it's Slasher, people like to say they parry stuns. People say Guest is bad against a good Slasher because they can just parry stuns. Okay, because like they're really obvious. Now I'm gonna go. I don't know why it's specifically for Guest. That's kind of dumb. Like if those are good Slasher, they can parry Chance's gun. They can parry Slashy's sword. They can parry 2 times dagger. But so I don't know why it's specifically for Guest. People say it's depending on the killer. And even if it's not Slasher or John Doe, even then, if it's a good killer, people say good killers will always like dodge the parry, or make sure like the Guest doesn't get a block. But that's the same thing for other Sentinels. A good killer would make sure they will do the hardest not to get stunned even once. Like for example, if there's a killer that's really experienced, since like Chance and Chilesky, since they both have a pretty long windup, and you think they would just let you stun? Also you could stun them at times. Most of the time you cannot. If the killer has like 8,000 wins, like 3,000 to 4,000 wins or something. Like a competent killer will make sure they'll do the hardest not to get stunned. So people say it only applies to Guest. No, it doesn't. Even for 2-time, they will try their hardest not to get stunned by 2-time. And I've actually, since the mods for WoD 2 update, I've actually noticed a change in 2-time's hitbox. I've seen it's been fixed. Like I feel it's like really fixed now. Dumb trick stabs won't apply or something. That's what I see. It's been fixed, so they can parry stun. Like it's not just for Guest, what I'm trying to say. And the reason why, and that's my little rant about how not everything, like how a lot of stuff of Guest, well the main thing of why Guest is bad applies to other Sentinels too. But let me explain the cons and then the pros and cons. First I'm gonna start off with the cons. Block can be pretty predictable if it's a bad Guest. Block is probably the most punishing stun. Like block is probably super punishing. Manning a parry could be pretty hard. And normal punch only stuns for 2 seconds. I'd get into why 2 seconds is still really good, even though it's less than other Sentinels. Guest has a high hit priority. well, mostly this isn't the good thing. The only bad thing is if you need some body blocking. Well, you can't really body block unless it's another guest. Charge can be pretty. At least for me, the hitbox can literally be pretty. Yeah. Like one time I was in a bridge. I remember one time I was in the bridge in UX, not this clip. I charged and for some reason I just clipped right through the killer. Yeah. Also the hitbox can be questionable sometimes. Charge is decent. Yeah. Now to get into the pros. Okay, now the reason why I showed a clip of me losing is because I felt like it would be more fitting since I'm talking about the cons of the cons of guess, so I feel like it would be more fitting of me losing. But now to talk about the pros. Guess 1337 has tied for the second longest stun. But he can also have the least stun. Like the what is it called? Like stun for like less time than the other sentinels. What is the 2-time doing? The good thing about Guest is if you're good and you actually react to stuff, Guest could probably be the best sentinel if you have good reaction time with good ping. I know how to drag. And Guess, before you comment how Guess has a billion techs and still isn't quote unquote bad, you better not be saying that if you're a 2-time main. Because I can already sense the comment saying, but Guess have a billion techs and he's not that good. And if you're a 2-time main, you better not be saying that. Because 2-time has a billion techs too. Every sentinel has a billion techs except for like chance or something. Just the only tech for chance is just gamble. Whoa! You mouse thing! Ow. Okay, don't get me wrong. The 2-time is human, but how do you miss that badly? I know I've been missing a lot of parries, but still. 2-time is, and in my opinion, 2-time is one of the easiest sentinels. Even easier than Shizleski to get your stun. But because and Guess has extra HP, which means he can tank at least one extra M1. And this guy has 2 ways to get invincibility: charge and block. Okay, block doesn't give invincibility sometimes, but in the last couple of seconds, you could probably just charge and block to get invincibility. And sometimes the killer will get really desperate and hit you, and you can parry. What I'm trying to say is, Guess is a tanky boy. Like, he has so many ways to get resistance, unlike the other sentinels. Also, he's the only sentinel that can't heal. Before you say Chance can't heal, he can reroll his HP. And for example, if I have 60 HP, if I'm at full HP with 60, but I have 60 HP, I can reroll my health and I gain more health. If that makes sense. I feel like he should gain at least 10-20 health if landing a block. But yeah, no, Guess is not bad at all. Although this is my opinion, because people can be saying that Guess is underpowered. No, Guess is just as good as the other sentinels. The only one I feel underpowered is Chance, but not by a lot. But that's all I have to say for this video. Please like and subscribe, because I'm 6 more subscribers away from 180 subscribers. Thank you guys so much for watching, and bye!